Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We'll get to the JRC just here in a moment. But first, the disclaimers and the trigger warnings. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shots campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to see the pertinent links in the description box. We have Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject. The article written by Neuroclastic, the one where they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. That is the one that they did get threatened by the JRC to be sued over. Defamation lawsuit, as a matter of fact. But they refused, so folks, please read it. Share it all on all your social media. We've got Neuroclastic's GoFundMe in the description box as well, because unlike the JRC, none of us have access to unlimited funds that seem to just appear out of nowhere. You know, just in case they decide to see through with that threat. Alright, folks, trigger warnings. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to utilize the headphones. Also, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity and speak on dark subjects. If your child's 16 and younger and watching this, parental supervision is advised. So it's not only welcome back to Spilling Tea, it's also welcome back to the Redundancy channel. This is our fourth person, folks. Fourth person who should have been aged out in regards to any type of residential school program over a decade ago. Yeah. Funny how nobody seems to ask the JRC to explain why it seems they have so many kids that are well past the age where they should have been transitioned slowly over into adult services that they insist that they need to keep in a school environment. It makes no sense. Needs change while you age. Residential school programs are not equipped to deal with the physical as well as the mental changes that come along with getting older. Okay? Why has nobody asked before why there appears to be so many students that are well over the so-called school age still in this place? What exactly can that program provide for them? They are adults. But they don't have the minds of adults. Let me explain something to you. Your opinion on the subject of their mental age means jack and shit in regards to this. Okay? Most of them are not at all those stuck with nothing but a child mind, but even if I play devil's advocate here, my point still stands. They are physically adults. As you age, developmentally disabled or neurotypical, your needs, your services, your supports have to evolve to be able to meet you. These things cannot be done inside a residential school program. They are not equipped to deal with the challenges, physical or otherwise, that comes along with age. Why is the JRC able to continue with getting away with holding kids at their facilities way beyond when they should have been transferred out and into adult services? Why is this being allowed? That shit doesn't fly here. Remember, I live in a GOP backwards hellscape where state senators have defended men wearing child bribes on the Jefferson City floor. Okay? In spite of how backwards we are, it doesn't matter if it is the best residential school program throughout the entirety of the state or the nation, where it is the absolute best case scenario. You hit a certain age bracket, you automatically start getting into transition age programs. You continue to evolve, and your treatment program evolves with you. That's how it's supposed to work. The JRC keeps telling us about all this progress, but how can we even really call it progress if you're not allowing these kids to grow? You cannot grow if you are still stuck in your 30s at the same residential school program that you've been on since, from what it's saying later on, since 13 years old. Where is the progress there? This kid hasn't even had the chance to show if there's been any real progress or not, because he's still stuck there. Anywhere else, guys, this would not fly. This would not fly at all. Now, for those who were needed a little bit more time, do they still keep them at the school? No, they keep them a little longer in the transition programs. Okay? You cannot keep these people in school forever. Your school does not have any experts that are equipped to be able to deal with the changes as these kids get older and should have been aged out of this area of the system. This leaves no room for progress or growth if you keep them stagnant at the same place they've been since they're 13 years old and there's no end in sight. Where is the progress? Where is the growth? Where is it where you can show me and all the rest of us that because of your device, the changes that I know you're going to be labeling out here, you cannot show me that those changes are lifelong changes for the improvement of their overall quality of life when you keep them stagnant and refuse to allow them to move on and transition to age-appropriate services. They just stagnate and stay there. If you're stagnant, where's the growth? Where is the progress? And why? When we can literally have this stuff straight from the horse's mouth, where they have numerous kids who should have transferred to adult services a long damn time ago, and nobody's saying anything. Nobody's saying anything. They're just letting them stunt these kids' growth. They not only torture them and traumatize them, not only do they impede their ability to be able to mature naturally, they never allow them out of that atmosphere. You're not allowing them to mature. You're not allowing them to even try out, little by little, more and more responsibilities. You cannot keep someone in a school system forever. You certainly can't do that and then try to preach to everybody else how much growth and success the person has and that their quality of life has improved. Really, JRC? Prove it. Prove it. You want me to believe that JW got so much better with your device, and through that progress, those changes are going to remain permanent? Allow him to transfer over into adult services the way it should have been done a long damn time ago. And when a good, decent amount of time has passed by, have all of us come and do a checkup to see if those changes remained or whether the actions have come back because the JRC can't be bothered to do their damn jobs. If we do that, and we'll do it incrementally, we'll do 5 years, 10, 15, 20, just like we used to do in the southwest region of Missouri through DMH. Okay? They can't, folks. They can't. And the fact that I know that they're probably still making money off of these folks, $265,000 a year off of a student who shouldn't be still a student, at least not in this type of setting. Secondary school's a completely horse of a different color these days. But this type of schooling is very specific. 30 years old is way too goddamn old to still be stuck in that residential school program. Period. The fact that we've already gone over 4 people, 4 of them, one of them over 50 years old, and they've never been let out of the JRC, something is very, very wrong here. And I want to know why in the name of God that has not been investigated by the Massachusetts version of DMH. Why is that just allowed to go on and be conveniently ignored? Because the hellstorm that would happen out here, if that happened to like the ARC Day program, the Easter Seals Day program, the residential programs at Rivendell, if that happened in literally any of these places, there would be hell to pay. Talking about the state suing people into the Stone Age. There's no excuse for it. There's no excuse. Not even under the best of circumstances should you be 30 years old and still in a residential school program from ages to kindergarten to senior in high school. If your ass is 30, you need an adult services. And no JRC, I really don't care if you or their parents agree with it or not. That is reality. Nobody gets everything that they want. It's the JRC who insists that there's dramatic changes, while holding kids back way past the time where they should have been slowly transitioned over into adult services and be able to show us that these changes are permanent and lifelong and actually does improve their overall quality of life. You can't do that if you're keeping them stagnant, because they don't have the opportunity to show that growth if you just continue to keep them there year after year. Okay? Of course, we're gonna read the sentence and we'll close out for this video. I've got the guy putting the climber machine together here in less than 30 minutes. But I did want to at least get one of these out before he got over here. So, rest of the sentence: with moderate intellectual disability, autism spectrum disorder, and a severe behavior disorder, has a history of SIB that includes violently slapping, hitting himself, hitting and banging his head with knuckles and against stationary objects, and banging his hands on tables. Well, gee, if that's not literally all the stuff that I have engaged in at one point or time or another as a kid. We've already gone over that. That looks very familiar. The only difference was I never really used my knuckles. Fists, yes, but not specifically. You get where I'm going. Yeah. JRC, it's called a meltdown. It's not a behavior. It's what happens when you overwhelm us to the point of sheer insanity, and we can no longer try to logic our way out of the situation. At least with me. Okay? But you don't understand. Do you know how tired I am of people telling me I don't understand when that was like literally me not all that long ago? I may kid on this channel that I'm old, but I am 40. It really wasn't that long ago. So having people scream in my face, and they have, you don't do that, you're nothing like that, you don't know. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Okay? Even if I didn't. Being autistic, I still have a better overall idea. I'm still going to be way more like your kid than you are ever going to be. Okay? So yeah, as usual, the JRC is demonizing, and once again, we are brought to the fact that these people try to hang on to their students to continue to inflict pain on them way past when they should have transitioned out of the program. How the hell that has not been investigated? You're looking at potential fraud there. Do people realize that? If you are still making $265,000 a head off the students, and you have at least 4 of them that should have aged out of the system a long time ago, but people, school districts are still paying you $265,000 a year for them. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. You know, just saying. We're going to go ahead and close out on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel, and the few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Please don't forget to utilize the comments. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I will see you all probably about within an hour. Bye-bye, everyone.